Welcome back, everybody, to the Rowdy Player One channel. I'm Rowdy, and today we're going to be talking about the top 10 books for the first half of the year that I've read. I'm new to reading this year, obviously, and so I've read a bunch of different books trying to fill out kind of like what genre I liked and didn't like, and I got a little bit of everything. It's mainly fantasy, sci-fi, but there are a couple that are definitely different. So anyways, if you're interested in any of these books, whenever I get done, I'll have all these listed down below through affiliate links. Obviously, I'm not sponsored, but anyways, if you are, thank you very much. If not, let's go and get started. All right, this one will probably be a shocker, but number 10 is The Bodyguard by Catherine Sinner. This book is basically it's about a bodyguard named Hannah Brooks, who goes undercover as a girlfriend to a big movie star. His name is Jack Stapleton, and he is needing to go back home to his family, and he has a stalker. So she pretends to be his girlfriend to infiltrate the family, make sure nothing crazy happens, and obviously, rom com type book. So fall in love at the end, but lots of stuff happens. So but it was really good. I enjoyed it for what it was. But that's number 10. Number 9 is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. This one is about two writers. One of them is named Athena, and she is super popular. Like everything she touches turns to gold, basically. Kind of like Brandon Sanderson. Um, everything that she does is great. And then there's this other writer who they are kind of friends, and her name is June. Um, so they basically get to they go out on the town one night or whatever and go back home. And whenever they're at the house, Athena ends up dying. Don't want to say how or nothing. Don't want to do no spoilers. Um, but June ends up taking or finding Athena's next novel that she's going to write and proceeds to take it, make a little tweaks to it, and puts it out and makes it as her own. And she gets criticized and all that, and all the pressure starts mounting. And anyways, it comes down and goes from there on what she ends up doing in the end. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm in the process now of reading Babel, however you want to say it, by R.F. Kuang. Not impressed at all with it, but Yellowface, I really enjoyed it. Number 8 is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Really like this. This was funny, um, very funny book. Most people have read this, obviously. I mean, it's a cult classic, basically. Basically, right before the Earth is about to get destroyed by a giant galactic freeway, um, this guy named Arthur, his best friend down here, basically named Ford, rescues him, and they end up going into space and going on a journey. And I remember reading this, which I'd watched the movie years and years ago, and really liked the movie whenever it come out. Then you go years later, and the book is so much better than the movie. Like I read this book and then turned around immediately and attempted to read or to watch the movie, and the movie's awful. I absolutely hated it. Terrible, terrible. But anyway, very good score. Like I said, this book is really good. Movie definitely is not. Number 7 is Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. This basically is about a girl named Tress who likes to collect cups from sailors that come in to where she lives at. Um, and they basically live on this rock, and they live in this sea of spores. And she is really good friends with a boy, and ends up his dad takes him with him to go and try to find a wife for him. And he doesn't want to do that. He wants to stay there, but he has to go. So he sends Tress these cups back ever so often. Well, eventually they quit happening. So she gets worried after some time and then goes, sneaks off of the island or the big rock and goes on an adventure trying to find him, and ends up meeting Hoyd and a bunch of other characters. But I really like this book. It reminds me a lot of The Princess Bride, which is a fantastic book. If you like The Princess Bride, you're going to like this book. Number 6 happens to be The Princess Bride by William Goldman. Absolutely great, fantastic book. This book has everything in it. It's funny, it's charming. You've got all these awesome characters. Obviously, you've got Buttercup, who is, the damsel in distress, basically. Um, you've got Wesley, who obviously goes to try to save her. Um, then there's Prince Humperdinck, um, who thinks he's, big macho and can't do nothing wrong. And then, of course, the infamous Inigo Montoya. Um, what's his most famous line? Oh, yes, you killed my father. Prepare to die. Excellent, excellent book. Absolutely loved it. Went after that immediately, which I've watched the movie, golly, 10 or 15 times. Excellent. Went back and watched the movie right after I read the book. Loved it, of course. These actually both do excellent jobs. And there's still a lot out in the book, in the movie, but the book is still, it's so good. Both of them are great. What's that? Oh, I'm supposed to have a nice drink of something while I'm in the middle of filming the video. Oh, okay. Get you a drink of something. Number 5 is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Excellent book. Absolutely loved it. There is a class system in this, basically, where the reds are on the bottom, golds are on the top, and basically the reds are like the lowest of the low. They have to go dig in pits. The golds are the luxurious. Um, they get everything handed to them. They're the biggest, strongest of all of them. Fantastic, fantastic. Love this book. Has great characters in it. Obviously, Darrow is the main character. Then you've also got Mustang. You've also got EO, um, Cassius, and the Jackal. Jackal is a fantastic villain um, in this book. Really, really liked it. It's hard to talk much about it because you can't really say too much without one spoiler kind of leading to another, in my opinion. But absolutely love this book. Cannot wait to continue to move on to the next one, which is Golden Sun. Number 4 is Mistborn: The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. Excellent book. Once again, obviously they're all great in my opinion. Nearly, especially these last 4 or 5, or probably 4 or 5, or 5 stars for me, in my opinion. Um, Mistborn is basically is a heist that goes wrong. The Lord Ruler wins, of course, and this has a great hard magic system in it. Um, Absolutely loved it. Um, Main character in this is Vin and Kelsier, mainly Vin. He finds out that she is a Mistborn with powers, and Kelsier helps her through kind of getting stronger. And they have a gang that goes to attempt to kill the Lord Ruler, um, and goes from there. This trilogy was great. I don't know what else to say about it. I absolutely love this. This was actually my first step into Brandon Sanderson, and it basically hooked me from there on out. I mean, by what I've read so far of him, I hadn't read everything, but definitely would suggest Mistborn. Excellent, excellent book. Number three, The Lies of Lo Lamor. This basically is about Locke, who is an orphan in the beginning, starts off as a young kid, um, gets taken in by Father Chains, and he helps him to become basically a master thief, and joins the Gentleman Bastards. Um, Man, Father Chains is the funniest character probably that possibly probably number one or number two funniest characters I've ever read in a book. Um, the audio book for this is really funny. Um, this book is sad. It makes you laugh out loud. Um, I mean, it's really got all the emotions in it. I loved it. I mean, obviously you've got Locke, you've got Jean, um, Callow, Galdo, and Bug. They're all like this group, and they're all really good at doing different things to go on these missions. But I don't want to give anything away about this. This is great. Number two, Dungeon Crawler Karl by Matt Dinniman. Funniest book I've ever listened to by far. No questions about it. Um, the only I would never say not buy the books. I will eventually get the books, but the audiobooks would be the only way I'd ever first listen, like first do anything with these. It is whoever I can't remember the guy's name that is the audio or the guy that voice records for everything. Is unbelievable. Um, this book is funny. I mean, laugh out loud funny. Like it's a lit RPG. If you like those, there's no question. If you hadn't even heard of this, I'd be shocked. But it is the best lit RPG I've ever listened to. Period, bar none. I would go out and get this without question. This is basically about Karl and his ex girlfriend's cat, Princess Donut. When aliens come out of nowhere and they're outside, this is at the very beginning, but they're outside. She somehow escapes, goes outside of their apartment, and as soon as they get outside, he is literally in his boxers and I think a jacket because it's in the middle of winter, and everything around him just collapses to the ground and everybody dies. Well, apparently, this happens all around the world. Um, so, whenever it does, aliens obviously take over and they're forced to go down under the ground into a dungeon and find out that it's a game and it's televised all over the universe. And they have to work their way down each level, and each level gets harder and harder, and try to upgrade and go through the battle scenes in this book are top tier funny. It just the stuff that he come up with blows my mind on how he was able to. And there's what, six more books after this one, I think. I can't wait to read more. Excellent, excellent book. And number one, by far best book I've ever read. Not even close. I don't know if one will even compare to it this year. Brandon Sanderson's Words of Radiance, book two of the Stormlight Archive. I don't even know where to start on this. It had me from start to finish. I read The Way of Kings, and it's 1,000 pages as well. This is just a tad bit more. First 500 pages of The Way of Kings was there was just so much going on that I couldn't keep up with it, and I was lost. And after the last 500, which I know it's crazy to say you got to do 500 pages, before you understand anything, but I knew he was good, and everyone said, you just keep going, it's good. The last 500, fantastic. This book, start to finish, was great. I guess maybe it's also because I understand more. Um, Kaladin, probably my favorite protagonist I've ever read. Just I goes through depression and everything. It's everything means so much to him. It people do. You don't want to lose anybody in Bridge Four. Um, man, it's so good. Um, he's great. I don't know what else to say. Then you go to Dalinar, who is just this excellent, excellent leader. He's had all these visions, and finally they start coming true on a lot of the stuff. Excellent. Shallan, the first book, I couldn't stand her. I thought by far the worst character of anybody that I'd read in that book. But this one, she steps up so much. I think she's great now. Like I love reading about her, and I just can't believe it. um, Obviously, there's a couple people die in this book, that's especially one you wouldn't expect. I've not read past this yet. I know next is Oathbringer, so who knows what happens. But oh my goodness, I just this book is so good. I don't know if it'll be hard to top by sure for the rest of the year. Potentially ever, but definitely the rest of the year. Yeah, that is my top 10 books that I read in the first half of this year. Yeah, don't want that to fall over. So, if you will, let me know what y'all's, if you have a top 10, if you've got a favorite so far this year. Like I said in the beginning, all these books I will try to list down in the description if you want to purchase them if you haven't already. Um, I really appreciate y'all and have a great day.